Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine. We're presented by the Navy Federal Credit Union. Navy baseball heads on the road this week in search of a Patriot League Championship. And, of course, on the marquee awaits their rivals from West Point. Pleased to be joined now by closer Landon Kruer. And, Landon, for you guys right now, this time of the baseball season, what's the key to sustaining mentally and physically? Because, as you know, as the season goes on, the games become that much more important.
Yeah, obviously still need to get our practices in. Now that school's over, baseball's our only focus. We got a few guys doing detailer school. The freshmen obviously got to do their Herndon and sea trials to a minimum to keep themselves in the fight for us. And then making sure we're getting our lift and practices in and what we need. As far as the mental aspect, just going in with the mindset that we're going to win. Obviously, we want to be the team to beat in the Patriot League. Hasn't been that way for the past couple of years, but I think this is the year we prove that.
Is it weird not having the academic component right now where there's not class going on? And is it in a way somewhat refreshing to be able to pretty much concentrate on baseball right now?
Yeah, it's definitely a little weird. I just played some catch with Jackson Beatty, one of our other pitchers, and we were talking about we don't know what to do with ourselves in the evenings. You get back from practice and lift and you don't have anything to do, so just get some extra sleep when you have the chance.
No doubt. Rest and recovery, very important at this time of the year. Look, as a closer, in theory, we say it has to be a different mentality. But does it have to be a different mentality? Is it simply a matter of just going out, executing your pitches? There's seemingly a lot more stress for the closer because it's usually the last inning or the last two innings. But is there a huge difference in the mentality that you have to have late in the ball game?
I feel like there's just obviously the dynamic of the game is different when I come in at the end of the game, just in regards to the situation at hand, as it is for a starter. I feel like the mentality is a little bit different. Obviously, when it's towards the end of the game, your team has less time to make up any losses that may happen. For a starter, if they give up a run here or there, it's like, oh, we still have 6-7 innings to play. But versus when I'm in, it's like either if they score, the game gets tied and we go into extra innings, or it's to a point where we only have one set of at bats left to make up for whatever I do wrong. So it's going to take a different mentality to go in there and obviously close the door on somebody. But at the same time, I feel like it's pretty much the same for all pitching. You just got to go out there, execute your pitches, trust your stuff, and just believe you're better than the hitter that you're facing.
You guys have done an awful lot this season so far, with a new coach, some new staff members as well. And, just as this season has gone along, that bond, that trust that has develops, when did you start to see all of that come together for you all as a team? Because that can be a difficult process.
Yeah. So the first time I met Coach Rano was last summer before I left for my service cruise. And then the next time I met him was at practice in the fall. And the first time that we had practice, his family was out there. So I first knew that, like, this is a coach that I want to play for. He's a family man of God, just wants the best for us, and like as a team and as just people and in general in life. And I feel like the team all recognized that. And throughout the fall, that bond started to form. I think when it really clicked was that first weekend at Elon. So we lost the first game against Elon, but then came back and throttled them Saturday and Sunday. And I feel like that's as a team when we started to connect through like pitching and hitters, and the coaching staff started to see what they needed to see in certain guys. And that bond started to form. And honestly, it's just been kind of rolling. There's obviously ups and downs like every team has, but right now I think we're kind of riding high, and we need to just keep pushing with that.
I mean, you guys have an amazing mix of people, youngsters like, Grand, Bendick, Manning, who don't seem to be overwhelmed by the moment. And then, of course, so many veterans on this team, like yourself and many others. The return of Victor to the lineup has just been, paid major dividends for this team. And obviously with a defender like Eddie, it just seems that this club has the right mix, the right role players, and it just seems everybody is embracing that right now. Is that the right observation from someone that watches it from the outside?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's obviously guys who are going to be on the bench, but at the same time, coaches this year at least have made it to a point where they have a job within the game and they're embracing those jobs. Obviously, guys in the field are stepping up, doing what they need to do to win the games. Guys on the bench are also doing what they need to do, helping guys out when they need to. So it's just a great culmination, especially getting contributions from young guys like Manning and Bendick. Being able to go out there freshman year, especially when we have some injuries like with Zach Ward and Liam Golden and Matt Archibald. It's just great to see those guys going out there and performing.
I mean, I think about what Evan Foster has done over the last month. I mean, he goes from being a guy that kind of walked in August and said, "Hey, I'm left-handed and I can throw. I'd like to have a shot." Now he's getting some high leverage innings for you guys as a group. You all just seem to have, and from talking to other players during the course of the season, you guys just seem to have it with each other. There just seems to be a bond, a culture. That everybody wants to show up every day at the facility, ready to do work and ready to go out and compete for each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Coach Ristano has built that since the day he's got here. With prior coaching, some guys didn't want to be out here, didn't really want to play for prior coaches. And when Coach Ristano came here, everyone wants to be out the field. They want to play for each other, want to play for coach, play for the new staff members. And it just created a bond and dynamic that we just haven't had in the past. And especially in the dugout, in the locker room, everyone gets along. There's not really many cliques. We all kind of do stuff together, especially in the hotel, in the dugout, just in the game. Everyone's willing to help everybody. And obviously that's led by the upper class, but the underclass are embracing it as well. They see the upper class working hard. The underclass are very mature for what they do in the baseball aspect of things. They come out here, work hard when no one's watching. And when the upper class are here, it's the same thing. We all see it and we're taking note of it. We're proud of them.
Your journey is incredibly unique. How would you describe your baseball journey to where here you are, late inning closer for a team that this weekend, if it does its job and executes, has a chance to potentially go to the NCAA tournament here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously coming from high school, I was a catcher, pitched I think once freshman year on the JV team. Wasn't much of a pitcher, was around it a lot though, catching bullpens, catching games in high school. Came here, they liked my arm, put me on the mound, and then not really sure how it developed freshman year to where I became the closer. It was kind of like I got put in at the end of a game once, did well, and then they just kept putting me in at the end of the game, and it kept going well. So kind of earned that role. Um, I mean, yeah, it's been a ride. I'm just grateful and thankful that I'm able to still play this game. Obviously, catching's a little more fun here and there. Pitching's fun when you're doing it. Catching, you get to hit. Tried to convince Coach Ristano to let me hit. He wasn't having it. He wants to keep me on the mound. So, but this weekend, I'm excited that this is where it's led me. I mean, obviously, this past 2 years we haven't had a chance to play for the Patriot League Championship title, and it's going to be personal between me and Army, given how the Star Series went. So, it's going to go our way this time.
I get it. How much did the catching experience help you as a pitcher?
I feel like it honestly helped a lot coming from a hitter role. Most pitchers were pitchers only through high school, like did that through their travel ball teams. As a catcher, you kind of have like that hitter mentality. And when I'm on the mound, I still kind of think like a hitter. I'm like, if I was a hitter, what would I be wanting right here? What would I be looking for? And then do the exact opposite. So just try and throw some guys off, kind of give them what unexpected. Like this weekend with Holy Cross, got a few guys down 1-2, 0-2, and they're probably sitting off speed because they'd seen 2 or 3 straight fastballs and then just blow 92, 93 by them. And they just freeze because that's not what they're expecting.
Does it really mean more, seeing Army on the marquee coming up this week? Is this, the way I think every Navy baseball player would want this coming up this week?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Ristano said it best. Like, we want to play at home. The atmosphere at Max Bishop Stadium is great. We always seem to play better here. It's our field. We know the conditions. We know how to play at our field. But the only way we would get to play Army is at Army. And I think every guy, as soon as Bucknell lost, our group chat blew up with "It's go time. This is what we wanted. We wanted Army." I feel like it would have been real if we would have won it against, say, Bucknell or something like that. But we're going to go up and do it on Army's field and dogpile on their field, and it'll just make it that much sweeter.
I hear you, big fella. Great stuff. Appreciate you taking the time for us, and best of luck to you and your teammates coming up this weekend.
Thank you very much. We'll get the win.